Talk what?
Let's talk about your book.
My book. My book is called If You Have to Cry, Go Outside and Other Things Your Mother Never Told You. Yeah. It's a good title, right? I have a rule that you can't cry in the office. It's like, this whole feminist thing. Girls are crazy. Everybody wants equality, but, so in my office, it's like you have to do the same thing that the guy would do. Like, we can't just always get the guys to come move the boxes, right? So the whole book is really this premise of what I figured out on my own, and then what I watched all these other young women going through, which was that we've just been completely programmed. That our whole life has been programmed by our own mothers. The life bringers themselves I hold accountable for this tragedy, because they sing us songs like first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in a baby carriage. And it starts out now that I have a daughter, I was able to see where Disney steals you at the ages of 2 and sells you this whole princess thing. And then from there you want to become like the smartest, prettiest girl, you graduate from high school, you have to get into the right college, then you have to get a really great job, you have to be really skinny, really pretty, then you have to score a guy, right? And then you get him to marry you, then you gotta have a baby. So, and all these women are doing all this shit and they feel bad and they don't even know who they are and what they want. Because they haven't even stopped to think, who is it that's telling me that I'm supposed to do that in that order, right? And it wasn't until I've been married twice and then got divorced and then got pregnant and then got white furniture that I realized that you could do things out of order, but that we weren't prepared, that we've been veiled. And, so we look at the advent of Christianity, right? We like to say, look at Mary, she gets pregnant, she doesn't even get to get fucked. So with the advent of Christianity, you see the demise of the female and the veiling of the female. Whereas the ancient feminine, we see these goddesses like Durga, she has like a fucking scepter in her hand, she has a discus, she's got a gourd for fertility, so this whole kind of concept of like witch and bitch and the ancient feminine is who are we and what do we want, right? And to stop the train and say, who is it that's having me do all of these things in this order, right? And I see the girls, and as they go through, the girls in my office, their careers, and they say hello to $100,000 a year or $150,000 a year, and they're saying goodbye to that concept of, oh gee, maybe I'm not really going to settle down, and the attacks that their parents put on them, which is like, you need to settle down, like, what are you doing? And it's just really not good. And so, and then there's other fun advice, like, how to use an anal probe, and like, your mom's not going to really tell you what good anal dilators are, really. And, how to get a muscle car, like GTO, or, maybe how to employ, like my mom never taught me how to employ a team of people that you're going to need if you, like, enter into this world, like, you're going to need some kind of therapist, a yoga teacher, a doula, feng shui master, an astrologer, whether to have Western astrology or Vedic astrology. I mean, these are the things that girls need to know, okay? So this is what we're talking about in this book.
Who's publishing it?
Harper, believe it or not, I got a phone call from Harper One, which is the same book company that puts out Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra's books. I am signed to the Spiritual and Empowerment Division of HarperCollins. Yes. Pretty great. That is pretty funny, right?
And
the other thing too is like all these chicks, they all know it. They all know that they're powerful, and they all know that they want something different. And that's why I think that why they've really kind of clammed onto the concept of me on television. Because I mean, here I am, like 43, I wear no makeup at all, not even on television, and I'm mean on TV. But these girls, like, they want to have their own business. Right? They want to run their own games now. It's a really interesting time. And so I'm going to be the person to help them get there.
Thanks.
That is it.
When's it going to come out?
It's coming out in March of 2010. It's called Crashing the Book, which means very fast. Very, 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 very fast. I've been working on it. It's a lot of work. Really.
It's your first book?
It's my first book, yes. Hopefully it'll sell a lot of copies, and then I can just go fly around and talk to young women. That's really what I want to do now. I want to, like, there's like 3 things I want to do, right? I want to teach young women, because I love them. I want to start using everyone and everything I know to, like, raise money for people who need it. Like, I'm really over just doing fashion stuff. It's like, there's too many people that are suffering in the world, so I want to do, like, I want to get 15,000 children and adults to carry white flag in Central Park, so like represent all the homeless kids that live in New York City, because there are 15,000 homeless children in New York City that we don't see. And I want to go to like India and bring a bunch of fashion designers there to teach young women how to sew, and I want to do stuff where like we can kind of bring attention to things and help transform them, kind of over just going crazy. I was thinking this fashion season about, imagine if like the whole world got together and treated the world like a fashion week.
Yeah.
And everybody said, okay, instead of doing fashion week, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend a week or 2 weeks working on something that's gonna make a difference. Right? I mean, fashion is important. We're here at London Fashion Week, obviously, but I'm saying, like, wouldn't it be awesome? I want to start selling tickets to fashion shows and give the money to fucking charity. Leave the first 2 rows for the people who deserve to be in them. And by the time people are in rows 3, 4, 5, 6, what the fuck? Right? Sell the tickets. So these are the things that are on my mind, Miss Pernay. This is what I'm thinking about now.
Great.
Yeah. I also want to start a company that builds brands for television shows, right? So like, why doesn't Gossip Girls own their own clothing line and then set up a deal? So that's my next thing that I'm working on.
With Eric Damon or what?
Huh?
With Eric Damon?
Who's Eric Damon?
He designs the Gossip Girls.
Oh, no, Stephanie Savage is the creator, but for the next project, like, next time, like having an agent introduce me to people in Hollywood who are making TV shows and making the clothing brands and letting the producers own the brands themselves. Right? That sounds like a good business.